Hi, this week I'm going to be looking at the historiography of Winston Churchill. Well, historians have studied Winston Churchill for many years, but recent scholarship is pretty sparse. Much of the research done on Winston Churchill was done between 1946 and 1990, which was something that I discovered when we looked at the dissertations in the last discussion. Um, while there has been a lot of controversy over who Churchill was at his core and what his reputation should be, there are a few known facts. Churchill was a historic figure of the Second World War, and he was often not trusted in matters of politics. These facts are evident in his funeral, as there were many presidents, kings, queens, and prime ministers present at his funeral to honor him. And despite his legendary reputation, his doctor had stated that he was burnt out as a result of the war, and he was voted out of office pretty much immediately following the war. Much of what we do know about Churchill comes from a few main sources, primarily his own writings, his own histories that he wrote, and those who were trying to analyze his life, particularly in light of World War II. In regard to his own writing, Gordon K. Lewis believed that through his writings, it could be easy to portray Churchill as a man of action. However, he believes that Churchill's writings to be a little bit more of journaling than a true historical analysis. Rather, he states that on the one hand, his writing provides a perspective of historical events that no other historian would even be able to recapture. But on the other hand, it offers a one-sided perspective. So while he provides a good history of all the things that he experienced throughout his own life, to call him a true historian would be a bit of a stretch because he recalls the events but offers a biased perspective from the English Whig tradition. And there's little to no analysis in his writings. Lewis also concludes that Churchill was more of a chronicler of the British ruling class, as he does not challenge or question the structure or belief of this class and just kind of catalogs historical events through this lens. So although it's not challenging any deep historical thought, his writings ultimately should be looked at as a good record of the past. They are primary sources for the most part about things that he's experienced in his own life. As a politician, Churchill's political career began in 1900 and continued well into his old age. His career fluctuated from a young statesman to a fall from grace due to his perceived poor military decisions during World War I. His ambition then led him to the graces of many and eventually into the decisions, into the role of prime minister during World War II. So while he has since been considered the greatest British leader, or at least one of the greatest British leaders for that time, he's also been described as ambitious, but in a more compulsive manner, and egotistical as well. And no matter the article or book that you may read about him, historians do continue to ask the same question. And this is really who was Winston Churchill? These three articles that I looked into this week follow the same methodology as many other works on Churchill that I've seen. They identify the common beliefs and debates on Winston Churchill. They offer their own analysis of his works and other works that are done about him. And then they conclude with their own opinion based off of the things that they've read and the things that they've researched, but also indicating the lack of true understanding, acknowledging that there are gaps in the research and there is continuous uncertainty about who the true Winston Churchill was. Was he a legend? Is he someone that should not be so highly regarded? It's all still continuously a mystery. And these are my sources. Thank you.